Hello, my name is Nina, and I will be giving a lesson on the Spanish-American War and political cartoons. So, the Spanish-American War began because of the Cuban struggle for independence. Cuba was initially a Spanish colony that began to fight Spain for independence, and then soon after, Americans gained interest in this war. The U.S. then decides to enter the war in April 1898, and the war ensued after it ends in August 1898, with America being victorious over Spain. The United States soon after signs the Treaty of Paris in 1899, and the Spanish agrees to give the territories to the United States in exchange for $20 million. These territories included Guam, Puerto Rico, Cuba, and the Philippines. Although the Philippines had assumed once the war was over, it would be its own self-governing nation, though when the U.S. takes control, did not allow this, and another war broke out. But American once again wins. So, as a shift in time and a rise in literacy rates, more people began to understand how to read and write. There's a greater demand of books, newspapers, and visual images, such as political cartoons. Political cartoons became very popular, and although it is a cartoon, these pieces of work are an important part of history, as it gives us an idea of how Americans felt and the role of during that time period. So in the next slides, I'll be showing you some cartoons, and something I want you to examine while viewing the images is what the visual imagery is, what they're communicating, symbols, etc. So just keep that in mind, some mental notes, because later on I'll ask you to write down your thoughts in the Wattpad journals and other questions and discussion topics. So these images are prior to U.S. prevention to the war, and as you can see, Spain is depicted as an adult, barbaric, villainous, and very demonization of them, and U.S. is like a heroic white figure, with Cuba also being a white figure. And interesting, this is afterwards. Cuba is now, instead of a white woman, a darker complexion woman, and the Spanish colonies are now depicted as children. So thank you for viewing the lesson. So on your own, search up some American War cartoons and discuss your findings and thoughts into the Wattpad journal. I would like you to keep in mind how ask yourself, how can you make sense of the transition of Cuba from, for example, being a white woman to a darkened complexion? What are the ideas on the Spain from changing from an animal-like feature to children? Is there like a racial hierarchy? Or if there's a race, domestic type of understanding of it, and just put this in the Wattpad journals when you have